lost thoughts lead you astray. Then I cry, then I feel pain. Why do I suffer so much? I would love to feel your touch. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Save me before I pass out. Save me before I pass out. Before I pass out. Before I pass out.
No code.
Warning, Neo detected. Warning, Neo detected. Mix up phase.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 2 here of the Apollo Racing Club Codemasters Formula or F1 2022 League. I'm Adam EV500, and of course, joining me here in the booth is the man across the pond, James Williamson, all the way in his nightgown here tonight. James, how are you doing this evening?
Really well, thanks, Adam. I look forward to this race. 20 turns. It's a very it's the longest track on the calendar.
And
It'll really test our drivers.
And in case you are wondering, yes, he is in a nightgown. So, we're getting ready here for qualifying around Spa. Spa, of course, one of the probably most dangerous tracks of the F1 calendar. It is a 4.3 mile circuit. I don't know what that translates to kilometers. But, of course, we get rain for qualifying here right off the bat. So 20 drivers will be here tonight. We have 19 currently in the session. So we'll just have to wait for them to... we have one more showing up that's going to be action here tonight. So we're going to get everybody set up and ready to go here. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of strategies we're going to get from everybody. What are we thinking here, James, as we get ready for an 18-minute quali session?
Well, I think it depends what the race is going to be, because if it's going to be a dry race, then you're going to have to sort of gut it out in qualifying and see if the weather improves and see if you can get... It might be a case of the last one over the line takes pole at the end of this. We've got Fluffy Dave out first, who's a reserve driver starting tonight in the Haas.
Yes, Fluffy Dave is here tonight, a newcomer here to Apollo Racing Club. So good to see some new faces here. Of course, like I said earlier, 19 drivers currently in the session with 20 that were signed up for tonight. Again, action will be coming later, but it'll be very interesting to see Sweeney G able to pick up the win last week in a great, crazy first race of the season. We saw 3 cars DNF at the end on the last 2 corners. So we'll have to see what comes of this one. So Fluffy Dave getting a little squirrely there, trying to get some heat in those tires. Everybody else coming on out as well. We see Potato Skin, Sweeney G, Simon LaFortune, Golf, Lawrence, Atmosphere, Average, Tours, Wizard, Jeff, Max, Arham, Mr. Baby, Kaginis, and Sir Snow all coming out of the pits now. We see Greasy, Def, and Note all currently staying in the pit lane.
Yeah, I wonder if all these drivers will do multiple laps, which is obviously something you do in real life in the wet. But it's just weird, like, for, again, such a wide track, we've got half the grid all next to each other going through Sector 2 at the moment. Need to find some space here.
Must correct myself. Cody won race last week. That is correct.
He did. But
yes.
Ultimately, we all won with that finish.
Yes. You can check out the clip from earlier. Everybody out on the intermediate tire here. So that will come into play. So we'll go ahead here. Let's watch as Fluffy Dave starts his hot lap. We'll go in on board with him as he goes through turn 1. La Source goes through there just neatly there. Now this is going to get very interesting as they come down into a Rouge and into Radeon And you can see he has to lift quite a bit to keep the car from not sliding off the track. No DRS available here in wet conditions, so they won't get that extra 15 km/h boost through the DRS straights. Now you can see he's trying to keep this car nice. Instead, it gets a little bit loose on the rear, but it's going to make it through Lacombe just fine.
Yeah, he's having a bit of an adventurous lap here, but again, just want to get one on the board and hope the weather improves as the session goes on. It's I think a lot of these drivers are probably haven't, even though they probably should with Spa, probably haven't done a lot of laps in the wet, so they might all just be trying to feel out the difference in the braking and how to handle some of these turns. As we saw with the Rouge, it's certainly not flat in the wet, but it's all about how much power you can get through there because it will carry all the way down the straight. Fluffy Dave now heading through sector 2. So he's keeping it on the track and he's gonna set a lap, which is the main thing. Who knows whether it'll actually end up at the front of the grid or not? It's early days.
It is expected to rain all through qualifying, so that will take care of how that's going to look. So right now, Max is currently 2 purple sectors with Fluffy Dave in front of him. You can see he's catching him just a little bit here. And we'll go ahead. Let's head over to Max. Let's take a look and see what he is doing here as Fluffy Dave is about to hit the bus stop chicane. Has to get heavy on the brakes here. Same with Max. Max hitting that 50 braking marker. Gets through the bus stop just fine. Doesn't spin out. Doesn't even spin the tires. Max goes quickest with a 157.51.
Yeah.
Who's coming up? Sir Snow next up.
You can see the difference in confidence though between those 2 laps. I mean, Max with a 157, Fluffy Dave with a 201. Sir Snow goes third at the moment with second at the moment with a 159. So
Look,
2-second gap.
Yep, 2 seconds between Max and Sir Snow. Now Simon LaFortune is now going to be coming out of the bus stop chicane. We're going to have Sweeney G coming up next here. And he crossed the line. He goes the third fastest. Let's see what Sweeney G is up to, or if I can find him.
157.7. Mr. Baby goes in with a 57 as well. So front 3 in the 57s. 57.5 is the current top time. Will anyone be able to beat that in these first runs? We'll see. But like I said, I imagine these drivers will just be circulating the track for most of this session, unless you want to put on a second set of inters in the final 5 or so minutes. You know, you're pretty much just going to run this whole session in the wet.
George, unless I'm mistaken, 17 seconds down. Let's see, Greasy coming up through the bus stop now. He's going to hit that exit. We're right on board with him. Doesn't get any wheel spin. Puts the throttle down. He's going to cross the line here. And he goes 4th fastest. So, let's get that time up here. A 158.320. So some guys, some of them are in the 2-minute range. And some of them are under the 2-minute range. And right now it seems like at the pace, you want to be right about that 157, 158 in quali pace.
Yeah, definitely that is what they're aiming for. I mean, again, it's sort of a confidence building exercise as Max goes fastest again with a 156.7 now. So the times are tumbling. But you just need to get that confidence in the wet, especially if you haven't done a lot of practice beforehand. And, you know, these drivers in the 2 minutes will probably build up as this session goes along, and it'll probably be a lot closer in the final few minutes. I'm on Cody Lawrence at the moment. He's trying to set his first lap, and it's looking pretty good as he's heading through sector 2. He's invalidated.
Yep, he's invalidated that lap, so he'll have to go again.
Commentators cursed him.
Yep. As soon as we switched to him, he ended up invalidating. Plus, his first time was not as fast. His first sector was not as quick as Max. As Max now puts up a purple sector 1 of 32.058. Now he's coming through almost into no name. There is a name for this corner. I was told this by somebody. There is a name from this corner. I don't know. So do you know?
I can't remember. No, I remember Martin Brundle said it once in one of the races a few years back because everyone just calls it no name. And then he said there was a name. Average is now just gone top with a 156.5. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's like I said, the times are tumbling with the people who feel a bit more confident in these conditions. But Max at the moment, he looks like he might regain that top spot if his lap continues. He was 3/10 up in the first sector.
Yep, he
He's
has a
going
purple,
up in...
purple sector 1 and has improved in sector 2, but it's not a purple sector 2. So let's see where he comes out. As Note goes with a 156.558, moves to that second spot here. Can Max find a way to get back to provisional pole as we now hit 9 minutes 30 seconds to go here in our qualifying session?
That was a beautiful exit out there. Kept the wheel spin to a minimum. Boom, straight back to the top with a 155.7. He's laying down a marker there for everyone to follow.
Yeah.
Fluffy Dave, see, look at that, 156.8 now. So again, as these drivers circulate, they're getting a bit more confident on that brake pedal, knowing where the grip is. And the times are tumbling down very quick here, so I don't know if the track is drying off a little bit.
And looks like we have the action joining us here. Hopefully that doesn't screw anything up. So we see Wizard here.
Yeah, Wizard coming into the final 2 turns.
Sweeney G goes one pole though, a 154.963 on his 3rd lap.
Yeah, Wizards chose to pit now. I think a lot of these drivers will probably pit now and take a second set of intermediates for this final sector. It will obviously pay slight dividends to do that. But...
Atmosphere is coming in. Looks like Note is out there. Let's see what Note is up to. He's currently just even with his time. He's not improving, not gaining at all, not declining either. Let's see where he comes out. His battery is quite low. You can kind of see it there. Let me see if I can see his battery life right now.
Yeah, he's coming into the pits. I suppose that's another thing. You're kind of limited by your battery on these hot laps.
Yep.
It didn't used to be much of an issue in the wet curve. I think they changed the way it recharges, so it's less overpowered, and you basically had infinity battery in wet conditions. So we kind of have a little reset now, and then the final 7 minutes is going to be, again, everyone going out, trying to get 2 or 3 laps in on a fresh set of intermediates. But Swinny G at the moment, top of the timetables with a 154.9. Max is second, he's got 155.7. And then third is Average with a 156.5. So he's already a 2-second delta on the top 3 there. But it's going very close in the top 5. You could think any of them could maybe steal it. I do think maybe the track's slightly getting better as this session goes on. So again, if you can time it right and get maybe the last person over the line, you might find you have the best of the grip, and you can snatch that pole right at the death.
Average will be coming in probably here. He's on 3-lap old intermediate tires, of course, and not sure. Oh, yeah, he's charged up his battery.
He's either going to go again or come in, but I think a lot of people have realised it's best to come in and take another set of tyres. But I think he has continued, hasn't he? So
yep.
He's going a different way with everyone else.
Mr. Baby is out there just coming down that first straight of the Kemmel Straight, one of the longest straights in Formula One.
Yeah, he's already seen a 1 second improvement through that sector. So again, switching tires for this final 5 or 6 minutes of sessions may be the right move. So let's see what he does as this lap continues. I think he's the first person on the second set of tires to be doing a lap, so it's a good reference for everyone else who's taken that option. I believe most of our drivers are back out there at the moment, but the strategy choices or the calls have been a bit varied. I think Average maybe will regret taking the extra lap unless he just wants to do a 1-lap shootout at the end on his intermediates, but I usually find it's best to go 2 or 3 laps with him. But Mr. Baby now, he's coming up to the final few corners of his lap. He needs to get a good exit out of 20. He can lose a lot of time there with some horrible wheel spin. We'll see what he does now. He just needs to get the braking right into 19. The first part of this chicane, and then the second one, not running out too wide. Don't get too much wheel spin. That was not too bad. Mr. Baby improved straight away to second with a 155.082. Still behind Swinny G, but again you could see 1 second improvement by switching tyres into the second part of this qualifying session.
Well, now taking a look here at average, can he improve? He has. He goes pole with a 154.548. Now we're hitting that 4-minute mark here in qualifying.
Yeah, I guess he's proven me wrong there. Great lap by him. But will he hold on to it in these final 4 minutes? I guess he's going to the end now. Whether he uses this as a recharge lap or not is up to him. But he's probably got 1 or 2 laps left. I think Greasy's out there on the lap now. He's just starting, so we'll see what he's going on. He's got a bit of traffic on the way down to E-Rouge and Radion. There's actually a yellow flag being shown, so I don't know if someone's got off there. He's now making his way up the Camel Straight.
You're talking about Sweeney?
Greasy, sorry.
Greasy.
Yeah.
Currently second fastest. Sweeney G's also on a lap right now. He has not improved as he's invalidated.
Greasy's 6/10 down his first sector, so I'm not sure he's going to make an improvement here. We will get 1 more bite of the cherry, maybe 2 if he's quick enough.
Max now coming across the line here. He's going again. He's at a 155.7. We're seeing guys. Mr. Baby goes to the pole.
Yeah, 153.9.
So the track must be gripping up a lot better now.
Certainly is, and also again, like I said, the new tires, they do pay off. If you've got the pace and if you've got the right tire at this stage, you will be probably looking at a chance of that pole position. Max is coming up some horrible traffic here though on his lap, so I don't know if that's going to affect him.
He's got Sweeney G in front of him. He pulls off to the side, and Arham.
Yeah, I think Arham's he's pulled off as well. He's got out of the way, but as that affected Max on the way down in the first sector or into sector 2, gets through no name without invalidating.
He has gotten a purple sector 1. Max has. Mr. Baby has retired from the session.
I probably feel his work is done. Max though is doing everything he can to ring every 10th out of the car in these final few corners. Big wiggle there, but he managed to hold it. But I think that's going to obviously affect his speed all the way up towards the final chicane. But he might still have a chance at pole. And if not, he'll still have 1 more lap after this. So he just needs to get through these final 2 corners, which he's done okay, and he's not got much wheel spin. And he goes top with a 153.5, so the new benchmark has been set. We'll see if anyone can best it. But that's a good lap by Max.
That is a very good lap. 1 purple sector with a 31.7 in sector 1. So he did improve quite a bit. Cody Lawrence has retired from the session.
I guess he's doing his last to first challenge again.
Yep.
The action who joined the session late is P10 at the moment. So that's not bad by him for coming in late. I don't know how much practice he had beforehand, but he's certainly in the mid-pack. It's 20 G's on a lap at the moment. He's just heading through sector 1 at the moment, down the Camel Straight. he's certainly someone you thought maybe could have a pole position here. And this is literally it, the final laps for everyone.
Snoke
So
goes third quick, 154.228. And now we're seeing Fluffy Dave come through. Oh, he goes way wide off Blanchimont. He does not invalidate his lap, though. He did improve in Sector 2, and he's into the pits. He knows that his lap is ruined. Potato Skin spins and ruins his lap. Can Average get something done? 31.7 through Sector 1, so he improves just a little bit. And you can see the rain starting to come down.
The rain is still coming down, average on 7-lap-old tyres compared to everyone else on the second set, which is like 2 or 3 laps old now. We'll see
and
whether
crashes. Average crashes.
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, he'll still have a top 10 starting spot, so we'll be pretty happy with that. But Max has got even faster now with a 153 flat.
Well,
just
Max...
maybe.
Go ahead.
Maybe he just wanted to rubber stamp his pole position, but we got Swinny G making his final few corners. He's just into the final chicane. This looks like it'll be an improvement. Will it be good enough for pole? We'll find out now as he's got to go around the final corner. Very clumsy, but he does not get a great exit. That's probably affected him.
He goes pole!
Pole with a 152.6 at the death.
What a lap there from Sweeney G to steal away a pole position from Max.
He really did steal it there. What a lap under pressure that was.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sweeney G on his only quick lap there. Because he held off. He waited till the last second there to get that pole. And by God, he got it. So Sweeney G on the pole with Max in second. Mr. Baby third, Note in fourth, Potato Skin in fifth, and that rounds out your top 5.
In sixth, we've got the action, and seventh is going to be our new reservist, Fluffy Dave. In eighth, Samuel the Fortune. Ninth is Average, and 10th is going to be Greasy, the teammate of the pole sitter, Swinny G.
Looking outside of the top 10, it's going to be Guinness, Wizard, Atmosphere, Arham, Tour, Sir Snow, Jeff, Golf, Lawrence, and Def. So let's see what happens here.
Let's see what the weather's like first. It looks like...
Looks dry. Looks completely dry. So we'll get going here. We'll have the formation lap. And then how many laps is this one?
22 laps.
22. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
This sounds so pained.
Okay. All right. Well, if it's anything like last week, we are in for a show. So we'll get that formation lap here going momentarily.
Yeah,
all right.
Let's just hope the lobby doesn't break because of the action joining late. That's the first thing we need to get through.
Yeah. Looks like the lobby is a go. So, again, Sweeney G taking that pole away from Max, just like last week's order. Sweeney G was up on the pole, ended up not winning the race. Lawrence raced again from last to first and ended up taking home the victory. So,
yep. And you can see some very interesting calls on the strategy. Again, it's, you know, we've got people on softs, we've got people on mediums, people on hards. I would have thought it'd be a bit more uniform because I think medium hard or hard medium is the general optimal strategy. But our drivers have made their choices now. They'll have to stick with it. Of course, a safety car or two could change everything.
Yes, it can. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 22 times around this Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. In Francorchamps, Belgium. 4.3 miles around this circuit. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to go green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on. And 5 lights will go out here, and away we go. Sweeney G is going to try and take off away from Max. Max gets a good start. So does Mr. Baby. Mr. Baby's going to come around the outside here, but Miss Sweeney G holding on to the inside. He's going to push Mr. Baby wide through turn one. Now this is going to give an opportunity for some other guys to try and push through here. And here, massive carnage in the back.
At the back. Sorry, big accident back. It's Simon the Fortune and the Golf, who are the main people of that. We've got a virtual safety car, I believe. Cody Lawrence got caught up in that. He's missing an end plate, I believe. We've got a few other people involved. Rom's got a 5-second penalty for a collision. It's all kicked off early here.
So Cody Lawrence's wing, he made it through, but just a little bit of damage on that left side there.
Yeah, he hit the stationary car of Simon the Fortune, so not a lot he could do there. He was just wrong place, wrong time.
So we're about to go back. Green flag racing here against virtual safety car is out. Our pole sitter starting on the mediums with Max on the softs, and Note moves himself in the third because Mr. Baby, what happened to Mr. Baby? He has a little bit of damage on his wing, not much. So
yeah, another Rom's missing an end plate, and so is D3F. So they'll probably need to make a trip to the pits once we get back going. So at the back, there's a few people now missing wings. I don't know what happened to Greasy, but he got pushed back to 14th. Mr. Baby's now got a collision with Atmosphere, so they need to calm down a bit. It's under virtual safety car. They shouldn't be racing as hard as they are.
All right, back to green. And here we go. Down through Blanchimont, Sweeney G is going to take off away from Max, as Note is going to have a huge gap between him and Potato Skin, but look out for Fluffy Dave. He's going to be trying to get through the outside, but in the inside, it's going to be Average. Into the bus stop they go. Average on those soft tires, going to get the grip down, and here they come through to complete the first lap of 22.
Sorry, there's been another big accident in this chicane. Atmosphere, Sir Snow. I think Simon the Fortune may got another piece of that. Sir Snow's missing his whole wing now.
And he got collided into again by Atmosphere, and Atmosphere is going to retire. He damaged his car.
He got disqualified.
He got disqualified? How do you get disqualified for that? Okay. Well, he's out.
Yeah, we've got a few people. Like I said, they've got at the back, Sir Snow, Torres, Ram, DF3. They're all in the pit. Simon the Fortune. They were from two different incidents, but there's been a lot of carnage, a lot of front wings already taken, but we remain green flag racing, and Sweeney G is leading by 8/10 of a second from S-Max. He'll want to try and get that 1 second gap by the time DRS is enabled, because it's very hard to defend down the Camel Straight if someone's within that DRS window.
Well, Potato Skin still trying to chase down Average, as Average was able to claim another position. He moves himself up into fourth place. Kagenis has a little bit of a gap. Now, looks like Fluffy Dave has gone wide here. And now Potato Skin moving up into fourth. Kagenis is going to try and attack on this as well. And now Average picking up a 5-second time penalty with a collision with Mr. Baby. And Average is all the way down into 12th place. So two guys picking up 5-second penalties already. And we're only on lap number 2.
Yeah, that's a weird one, because they weren't even near each other on track, as far as I could see. So whether that's retroactive from something that happened before and the game's just caught up, but very bizarre. Codemasters. I'm currently watching Cody Lawrence at the back. He's he's up to P10. He's got that little bit of damage, but he's catching up to the back of Mr. Baby now, as he's trying to again win from the back. But Sweeney G and S-Max, I think DRS is now enabled, so Max now will have his first chance to earlier maybe have a go at Sweeney G down at the end of Camel Straight if DRS is open. Yeah, so he's 8/10 back. That's probably a bit too far. But he should be able to close in at least. And again, it's very hard to break that train with the DRS for the driver in front. So Max will be happy just to try and maybe stick on the back of Sweeney G's gearbox and hope that he can get a lap where he's a bit closer. These two running away, of course, at the moment from Note in third with a 2-second gap back to him, with Potato Skins a further second back. Fluffy Dave, he's had some very adventurous lines so far in these early laps, but he's in P5 at the moment, being chased by Guinness and his teammate for tonight, Wizard, in the second half.
And Wizard is being hounded by the action here, as now Def picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations.
I think he's also crashed in Radion.
Well, he's going. Doesn't seem like any damage, so. And he's got Sir Snow behind him to keep him company for the time being. So let's take a look at this battle here for P7 as we see the action really pushing here and trying to push the issue with Wizard, and luckily Wizard's going to be outside of that DRS now.
Yeah, Wizard needs to really get that DRS because the action is, if you can keep on him through these two corners and then the first corner, he might actually fancy a move down this very short DRS straight, but it's very hard to get anything done there. But he should be set up nicely now. Just a good exit out of one. Just follow the car up the top of Radion, and then he's got the camel straight with that DRS. And he should hopefully get that move done by the end of this lap if he can keep close enough.
About 6/10 of a second back. Gets a little bit wide through, coming up through Radion now. But that DRS coming alive here with the ERS. He's got it. He's pushing. He's pushing. Gets the move done. He is flying down.
Easy move. He's got that cleared before we even got to the braking zone. So that's the action up to P7 now from his P10 starting spot. Meanwhile, Max still struggling to get any closer than between 6 and 8/10 of a second.
Looking at the tire wear so far for Max already used up to 32% on those tires, while Sweeney G is sitting about 16%. So on the fronts. So you can tell that the soft tire, yes, it is quick, but it wears out so quickly compared to the medium, about twice as fast as the medium tire does.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in the next 4 or 5 laps, I would say, on those softs. The thing is with Belgium, it's such a short pit lane. You can maybe do different strategies that you would be able to do, say, like Imola, where the pit lane's so long. It's like an 18-second pit loss on a normal green flag stop. It's sparse, so it's a very quick one. Sweeney G is that.
He's quick, 147 as the fastest lap so far.
Yeah, he's pacing it well at the moment, but again, he can't shake Max, and Max will just keep using the DRS to pull into that gap in the first sector, and then he can just hold on through the second and third sector. So what he's going to have to do is hope that when he does pit, one, that we don't get a safety car that gives Sweeney G a cheap pit stop, and also you can find a nice gap where you can like lay some laps down. I assume we've gone to hards, and they can still do a one stop from here. But he just needs to really knuckle down when he does make the transition to his second on his stop, because that's going to be his money laps, and that's where he's going to have to try and put himself ahead of Sweeney G when he does end up pitting on those mediums, which will be a lot later. And in all that, I've noticed the actions now into P6. He's got Rankin Guinness with Cody Lawrence is handing down Guinness as well now. He's in P8. Have to get around Mr. Baby.
Well, Mr. Baby is already up in the 9th. Lawrence is into 8th. Looks like there is a yellow flag in Sector 2.
It's Note.
It's Note.
Yeah, he's spun, unfortunately.
Oh, what a unsafe rejoin there by Note.
He didn't really have much choice, unfortunately. It's not a lot of room there. But he's dropped down to P10. I don't know if he picked up any damage in there or whether it was just the damage to his pride.
Looks like no damage to his wings, either the rear or the front, so he will continue on here. And now Fluffy Dave going to be challenging for that 3rd spot with Potato Skin. Potato Skin trying to press the issue. But guys, who has the DRS? It's going to be Fluffy Dave, who's going to come into turn number 1 and solidify that 3rd spot. An update from Atmosphere about what happened. He said, someone spun in front of me, and his rear tires locked with my front tires, and they were basically hooked. I tried to drive through, but I couldn't move because of his car, and then it just said you have been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. It was a 1 in a million racing incident.
That's a very atmosphere thing to happen as well.
Yep.
No
Very,
offense, Sal.
very unfortunate there for atmosphere.
Definitely.
He had a great start to the race too, so good start,
Yeah.
but just got caught up in those incidences. So hopefully we'll see him around next week, as we saw a great battle there between the action and Potato Skin is now Fluffy Dave taking a 1.2 second advantage over fourth place.
Yeah, Fluffy Dave, Potato Skins was on the back of him, but during the last couple of corners, he's dropped back and the action's now hounding him. And Guinness is not far back, so we've got another 4-car battle coming up, because I can't out Cody Lawrence getting involved here soon. Especially if these three start squabbling.
Well, just an update as well. Simon LaFortune picking up another warning here for track limits. So his next one will be a 3-second penalty.
Yep. Sir Snow's called it a day in the pits, so we're down to 18 drivers at the moment. Look at this 4-car battle between Potato Skins, the action, Guinness and Cody Lawrence, and Max has decided to pit. So now we really see what ties he goes on. He's gone on the hards, and now it's about where can he drop into a gap. He's going to try and beat Note out, but I don't think he's going to do.
Sir Snow came back out on track.
Yeah, that's just the game doing that.
And now Dev picking up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane here. As now the action, he's going to move up into third. His car is absolute. Did he strap a jet engine on the back of that thing today before the game, before this race started?
Well, it's funny if he did join late. Maybe he's just making some last-minute jet engine adjustments. And it's certainly paying dividends in this race.
Simon LaFortune has been given that time penalty now. So, but yeah, no, the action is absolutely flying here. He's up into a podium position.
Yeah, he's hooked that car up well in these dry conditions. But Cody Lawrence now is on the back of Guinness. He's not in a section where he can really make an overtake though, so he might have to follow for a few more corners. Unless Guinness makes an action. Cody's hounding him though. He's looking for putting a few interesting lines in, trying to maybe throw Guinness off. But I think Cody can get him now up the hill.
Yep, using that ERS now, coming through the back straight, gonna go through Blanchimont. They can't make contact there. Cody Lawrence had to pull out.
He did. I was going to say 2 wide through there, just not always end well, and we saw that in true motion there. That will get Cody a bit rattled now. He needs to keep it cool, and he can try and get him down the Camel Straight. But that was very much a chance of real disaster there.
That was very close. Whew.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
So I guess.
And it's hard to keep those cars straight going down, especially right before Blanchimont, because of just the way the straight is angled through there.
We've got a retirement, Simon LaFortune, and this is a full safety car. Which again is what I said. Max did not need this.
Nope.
Because now all these opponents all get a cheap pit stop. Obviously, Swinny G will come out of the lead. Fluffy Dave may beat him out. You know, this is going to put Max back in the pack when we go racing again. But another issue we've got here is the people on hard tyres. This is not a great time for this guy to come out, because they probably have to go on the mediums. And then you're going to have to do
a long time on those mediums.
Actually, wait, no, 12 laps. I mean, it won't be. I think you could probably get away with it. It's not going to be pretty at the end. But
well, you're happy about this because this will give you a chance to catch back up. Especially Average. Average was somebody who after qualifying was like, hey, he's got a chance to be on the podium tonight, and he's currently down there in 15th, so he'll be happy about this.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few people now who can reset the back in the mix, and maybe can claim some points, or at least get back to sort of the positions they should be running. And like I said, Average is definitely one of them. Won't write off Greasy either, and Ram, who was strong last week. So,
well, Sweeney G will pit now for hard tires again. So he's going to try and
Again.
extend, gets just fresh tires. I actually, no, I see what he's doing here. He's going to try and take hards all the way to probably lap 15, 16, pit for softs and get the lap and finish the race on with the soft tires, maybe even the mediums, depending. Now, for Max, though, Max is able to pass everybody. He moves himself up in the second. The action's going to come in. Fluffy also came in. He's going to be right behind
Cody's
the
made a
action.
mistake here. Sorry, Cody's made a mistake. He's gone on intermediates.
Cody?
Yeah, Cody likes to
Question
go on
mark?
intermediates by accident. I mean, Cody certainly likes to make things a challenge for himself, but I think this is probably taking it too far.
I mean, there's no rain in the forecast here in the next 30 minutes.
Maybe Cody knows something we all don't. The action's also gone soft, which is I don't think you should. You really should just aim for no more pit stops after this. So going on intermediates, going on softs, not the best ideas. So I guess we'll be seeing Cody Lawrence back in the pits at the end of this lap.
We're also going to. Well, Sweeney G is going to have to pit again so he can switch tire compounds.
Yes, I mean it could work, but I just think you literally got a pit. You know, you're on lap 8. You just need to choose something to go to the end at this point. Really, realistically, even though I said like this is one of the shortest pit lanes, so if you feel confident that you've got enough pace, you can gap most of the field and probably make a stop and not lose too much. But it's just too dangerous. Also, the thing is, what if a safety car comes out? Then you're really going to be in trouble.
Let's recap what has happened here. Sweeney G still leads here. He pitted for hard tires. Max pitted 2 laps ago and put on the hards. The action has soft tires on, so he must be doing a 2-stopper going probably what he started on. I'll tell you. I got that information.
He's on mediums, I think.
Yes, he started on the mediums, now going to the soft, so he'll go back to the medium tire. Fluffy Dave pitted. He started on the hards, and now he's on the medium tire, and he'll go to the end probably.
Cody's stayed out. I mean, is it a graphical bug or what's going on? I don't understand.
No, he's on intermediates. All my scoring stuff is showing intermediates. What is happening here?
Is it secretly rain? It's raining. It's raining.
Is it? I don't think it is.
When I'm on the broadcast screen, it's getting the raindrops. But again, I don't know if that's a bug. I can't trust anything. What is happening, Adam? Tell me.
I don't know. There's no rain according to the forecast.
I mean, if it is raining, it could be a masterstroke by Cody here because he's not going to have to pit. In fact, we've got Greasy Potatoes and Golf on Inters now. So is it actually raining? It must be.
It must be.
They wouldn't be this insane, surely, otherwise. There's no way.
Oh, there are some drops coming down, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
The thing is, it's such a long lap. And we might not go green this time.
I look over here to my system, to my scoring system, and it says no rain expected.
Wow. Well, unless the forecast is set to not accurate. And then obviously it can throw out these scenarios, but I'm just interested to see where the Inters fire up on that first lap, or if it's a case of they have to take the pain on that first lap, try and keep in within 18 seconds of the leaders, and then they'll take the lead when everyone else has to pit who hasn't pitted yet. But it's interesting. We'll just have to wait and see if this is going to be the final lap on the safety car, because I think one extra lap will certainly help those intermediate runners. But I think at the moment, intermediates is not the right answer. It's certainly not wet enough. But we're going around for one more tour under the safety car. So Bert Mylander is getting his overtime pay.
So Sir Snowman is saying rain is coming. And
Okay.
Fluffy Dave is into the pits, so he is probably going to the intermediates.
I mean, if you're near the back, actually, you probably should just pit and take the intermediate. If everyone else is already on him, I would probably pick. But then I guess the thing it's like I said, the key thing is gonna be when we go back racing, how the first lap handles for the people on the dries and people on inters. Because if the inters are not in yet, they could lose so much time that even though they don't have to make a pit stop, they will still come out behind the people who are on dries now. So it's just basically a complete lottery now. It's just going to be a case of who's dealt the right hand. Is it going to be Swinny G on those hards, or is it Cody Lawrence on those inters? Because Cody Lawrence is first in line if those inters do come straight into play.
Basically, at this point, we're just like throwing our cards up in the air and say pick them up because I have no idea what's going on right now.
It's wet, like broadcast cameras that can all this. I can see rain a bit now, but I can certainly see it's not wet enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not wet enough.
No, I'm not even seeing any spray on the back of coming out of the back of the cars yet, which is usually like the first telltale sign that it's changing.
And I mean, I'm seeing some raindrops on the onboards, but it doesn't look like it's enough.
No, the track's certainly not wet. I think the intermediate people who are on intermediates have jumped the gun a bit.
I think they have too. I think they're gonna overheat.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible trepidatious first lap for him.
Let's take a look here at Lawrence. Lawrence's tires, I mean, they're warm, but they're not like, overheating. We'll have to keep our eye on that though throughout this first couple of laps, especially on this first lap when they're up to speed. So safety car in this lap, Sweeney G from the pole. One from the lead here on the hard tire with Max right behind him in the action on the soft tire. Kaginis in fourth place on the hard tire, and Lawrence is on the intermediate tire. You can't make this up. You can't make this up, James.
No, you really can't. Somehow Potatoes has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags just about ready to go to green. I'm going to sound Cody Lawrence and see how he handles this first lap.
Well, here we go. We're going back to green. Sweet. He's going to try and take off from the race lead with Max tailing right behind him. Let's keep an eye on Cody Lawrence. Cody Lawrence doesn't seem like he's losing too much time down on at least the straight. And we're seeing the intermediate tire guys behind struggling just a little bit, it seems like. A little bit of competition here between Greasy with those intermediates and Arham with the medium tire as they come through Eau Rouge now. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Cody Lawrence's tires. Cody Lawrence's tires have jumped up about 10 degrees Celsius, and he's actually pushing here. And but the braking is not as good, it seems like, through the corners on these intermediates yet for Kagin. But Kagin is able to hold on to the position in the P4. Now Potato Skin moves up into 10th place. And getting by Arham with those medium tires. This is going to get very, very interesting here.
It's really... Sorry, it really is. I mean, I don't think there's much difference between the dries and the intermediates at the moment, other than the fact that if you're on the intermediates already, you ain't going to have to pit. So I think that's another thing with Cody's approach at the moment. You can tell he's actually a bit... He's struggling a bit in the corners compared to the dries, as him and Kaginis continue to fight. But he just needs to sort of stay pointing the right way, and he'll be in the lead very soon. You see Potato Skins is making some great moves. He's already made a few positions up.
He does have a stop-and-go 5-second penalty.
But if you don't pit again, that'll just be added to the end of his race. So he'll just need to try and hopefully he can get a good 5 seconds on a lot of the cars He'll get a free 18 seconds on the field once they have to pit 4 intermediates if it does get it's that stage. But at the moment, it feels like he can just choose any tyre. So Fluffy Dave now, he's made a move down on Jeff 1, and Torres has called it a day and he's gone into the pits. So he's going to change over to the intermediates now. He's the first of the dry runners to take that gamble.
You can see Max is really struggling here with these hard tires. He's about a second down on Sweeney G. He's going to have the DRS down the Camel Straight now. Have they actually... No, DRS is not enabled.
No, that's
next lap.
3 laps. That'll be next lap. And then also it could just be... And that's another thing. And once it's disabled, all these dry runners will know they'll need to pit. I think at the moment the Action's probably got the best tyre because the Softs always perform better in damp conditions. And... I don't think he's going to get to the point where the life drops off because he's going to be pitting in the next lap or two. He's got 4 seconds on Kiguinis and Cody Lawrence, but they're still, like I said, they're going to come out 14 to 18 seconds back. You see Torres, who was in the middle of the pack, but at the back, but he's 22 seconds off the back of Jeff now. So you can see how much time you're losing.
And average has DNF'd.
Just before No Name. I haven't got a view of what's happened, but I guess he's nosed it. Torres, meanwhile, he's struggling. He's struggling really hard on those inters, taking it very gingerly. So I guess the inters aren't... Oh, got a safety car.
Yep, it's a safety car here.
Again, it's got a drive-through penalty for basically ignore the delta. But this gives everyone a chance now to change to inters who haven't already done that.
If they want to go to inters, that's the thing. We don't know how long this rain is supposed to last. I don't even think it's supposed to last that long. And looks like Sweeney G's in. Same with Nax. And Action.
Yeah, I'd imagine most will do it. It seems to be getting heavier when I'm looking on the onboard, so that'll probably give Cody Lawrence the lead here. And then it's about whether Max and Sweeney G and the lights can get out ahead of Potato Skins. It's actually gone into the pits again. Here's Potato Skins decided to take another fresh set of inters. We've got Fluffy Dave. He's now up to P3. Note has decided not to pit. So he is out on file pole with the hards in worsening conditions. So we'll see if that pays off for him. But I just feel the conditions are getting worse and it's moving slowly more towards the intermediates. So once again, Cody Lawrence has played it beautifully. Starts at the back and strategizes his way to the front.
So here's the thing. I can see it down the Camel. Like, you can see the rain coming down the Camel, but I don't think this is affecting all parts of the track.
I don't know if the game actually factors that in. But it's just very bizarre because it's sort of raining and it's not really dampening the track, and the inters were as fast as the dries, but the dries were still working. And I remember once there was a race where it was raining for the whole race, but it never actually crossed over to the intermediate delta. It was weird. It was like you had to just stay on dries even though it was wet. I don't know if that ever got fixed. Well, I guess I mean, Max, I've just noticed Max, who I think pitted, has actually gone on mediums. So he's trying something different. Adam, I'm totally befuddled, if I'm honest, with the strategy and what's the best tyre at this stage. We've got people on inters, we've got people on dries, and no one seems to be slower than the others. It's just dealer's choice, you know. Just like I said, just throw the cards up in the air and take what you want.
I don't know either. I really don't know what to think. Let's take a look at last lap times here. Actually, can we look at fastest laps?
As far as that is, it's only going to relate to the dry stuff.
Yeah. I wish we had some. So we'll have to keep when the safety car comes in. We'll have to keep an eye on notes and Lawrence's lap times because Max is on the medium tire. What? My brain cannot handle this right now. I don't know what's happening.
No one does. Well,
No
we've got 7 laps left, and we're gonna see someone who's a hero, and we might see a few zeros at the end of this. I just, it's just bizarre. The weather is saying wet, but the track is saying it's not wet, basically, and it's just creating a scenario where
we don't know who to believe.
well, you don't know who to believe, you don't know who's actually made the right call. I mean, I guess Cody's made the right call because he's leading, and if Note does struggle, he might find himself he can scamper away a little bit at the start. I don't actually believe we ever got a DRS is disabled message either. So while we not have DRS for 3 laps,
Yeah,
I don't think it was ever officially disabled. So it's obviously the track is not wet enough for that yet.
Yeah, and I'm looking through my radio messages here. I don't see anything coming in game about DRS being disabled except for safety car reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think about this.
I'd love to know if anyone in chat knows what to think about this.
Like as you look at this angle we have right here, I'm following Note and Lawrence. You don't see any rain on the track. You don't see any raindrops, actually. Let's head on board. Yeah, there's not even any rain. Yeah, there's a little spit, but it's not enough. This is not enough to go on inters.
Yeah, yeah, safety car's in this lap, so we'll go again and we'll see who has the right idea on the tyres. Max could literally blitz through this pack if it's still a dry tyre advantage. I'm starting to see a little bit of like more wetness to the track. It's got a bit shinier, so it may have started to move towards the inters. Cody Lawrence is going to lead us away here when he decides to drop the hammer.
He'll probably wait to do that on the front straight because, of course, we're going into the bus stop chicane. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lawrence leads here with the intermediate tire. We're not sure what the tire choice is going to be, but it's time to go back to green flag racing. Here we go, as Lawrence now takes away from the lead, as Note is going to try and chase him down on those hard tires, but it's not going to work out for him because now look at this. Sweeney G battling on the inside he is on the intermediates. He's on the outside now. Note's going to try and hold on to the second position, though. But, it's time for intermediates.
It is intermediate. Yeah, Note's getting horrible wheel spin out of every corner. I saw it when he got out of the chicane, and it just continued down into turn 1. So Note's unfortunately made an error. But Max is holding on at the moment. But I do think it is going to move to inters in the next lap or so. So it's definitely would have been the right call. Max, though, makes his way past Greasy. So you know what, Adam? I may be totally wrong. It may stay on the dries. Who knows? Max is making some moves. Every time we commentate on games, they do like to make us look foolish. Look, Cody Lawrence is steaming away. He's got a 1.2 second lead from Sweeney G. Fluffy David made his way around Note, so Note dropping back horribly at the restart. Well, front three, Cody Lawrence, Sweeney G, and Fluffy Dave. And they've got a bit of a gap to Max, who is following Note at the moment. And again, as we said, we've got a rain coming down, a track that's wet, but the dry tyres are still working. And there's certainly not a disadvantage to the intermediates yet. But we'll see if that continues. We've got six laps remaining. Once Cody crosses the line. as is Golf, but he was on the medium, so I guess he's realised it's probably going to go to Winters. But again, at this stage, it's going to be very hard to get back into this race unless you get a very quick safety car. The action now, he's gone way wide out of Radion, and that's going to cost him a few positions by the looks of it. I think Greasy might get him at the end of the Camel Straight here. No DRS yet. If DRS is indeed going to be enabled. But in front of them, Max has got round Note finally. Well, they're going side by side, so he hasn't cleared him yet. They'll hope to clear him down into turn 6. But Note is holding strong. They touch slightly. They're pushing each other through the corner. Heading into No Name. Max has got the inside here, but he's been squeezed by Note on the entry there. So Note holds on to P4. Max is back in P5. These two on dry tyres on a track that's getting wetter by the minute. But they're 7 seconds back now from the leader, Cody Lawrence. And they've got a gaggle of intermediate drivers right behind them who want to get fast through these as soon as possible, with the action leading that charge.
The difference in lap time right now between Max and Lawrence is about 2 seconds. So, yes, the intermediate tire is the tire to be on right now. As Max gets by a note here for P4, Fluffy Dave. He is on 3rd place in his debut here at ARC.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful debut for him. He'll be very happy with that, I'm sure. And Max is actually gaining slightly. So I think the problem with Max's times is it's hard to gauge because he was stuck behind Note, who definitely was struggling. So now Max has got clean air. Can he actually make any waves on the front 3? Or is he just going to have to hold on as best he can and hope that those tyres do not die fully in these damp conditions?
Well, Greasy getting by Note here. He moves himself up to the P5. Now he's going to be free to chase down Max. And, of course, DRS is not enabled. So it is wet conditions now. But you can see, Note, look at him go. Look how much speed he's got.
Yeah, oh my, 4 wide into that corner there. Everyone's just swarming at the moment. I think the problem is, I don't know what happened to Greasy. He dropped back. I don't know if he got a slowdown or what happened there. He dropped back. We've got the action in Note now. They're hugging all the way through No Name. And
contact.
My word, Greasy forces his way past Note through No Name. And Wizard takes advantage. And he's also got round Note. So Note's lost 2 positions in 2 corners. But Note, he's fighting back. Tell you what, for someone who've got someone spinner in the back, that's Rom. But Note is holding on as best he can on these hard times, but you can tell he's not in the happiest of campers right now. As the action, who's been very frustrated trying to get around him in the last couple of corners, is now trying to make a move around the outside. Can he get it done this finally? He has managed to get ahead, and he's got that move cleared, so he's got around his teammate Mr. Baby now looking at a move, and Note has been swallowed up this lap. I think these dry tyres have reached their limit. But Max is kind of holding on, but he is dropping back horribly. He's lost about 3.5 seconds to Fluffy Dave in this 1 lap. So he really is just hoping that the tyres just don't totally lose grip and he can try and get onto this P4. But he's got 3 cars chasing him down right now, led by Greasy.
Note got a little bit wide coming through the bus stop chicane and had to really let up, and he falls himself down to 9th place and now is being hounded by his teammate of Arham. And you can now see Lawrence now is up in the lead. Now we have a yellow flag in Sector 3. That's going to be Kaginis.
Yeah, I think he made contact with someone.
Yes, he did. Looks like it was with Golf, and Golf is actually really slow out of the corner after that as well and loses a position to that. But Max here, he's staying on the medium tires, but he's got to be careful.
He has got to be incredibly careful, but he has no choice now. Pitting here would be suicide. He'd end up outside the points. So Max is just doing what he can to hold on. I think he's going to have the same issues that Note did, and he's going to get swallowed up eventually. But I think he'll just want to try and salvage a couple of points out of this. Definitely the intermediates were the right call. Whether it was on the second to last safety car or the final one, you really need to be on the intermediates for this final stint. But Max is making a good go of it on these mediums, but you can already see Greasy here chasing him down. So you feel it's only a matter of time as we've got another incident back in Sector 2.
It's going to be Wizard. And he's right on the tail of the action, though.
So action by name, action by nature. He's had an absolutely stonking race full of overtakes and drama. P6 at the moment, starting P10. He was running in the podium positions at one point. But this race has really turned on its head once the rain started falling. Cody Lawrence called an absolute blinding play to go on those intermediates first. And he has profited from that 2-second lead over Swinny G. So it looks like we're going to have Cody Lawrence winning back-to-back races here. Again through strategy, starting at the back at both times. Greasy now, he's looking at the outside of Max into turn 1. Will he get the move done? Pinches Max on the inside, gets it cleared. He's got it cleared. Max is struggling to get out off the corners now. Greasy's absolutely flying away from him. Max will be more worried about whether he can keep the action behind him down the Camel Straight. Obviously, no DRS is going to be enabled due to the conditions. But will the action have so much more grip down here that he can get on the back of him? But yeah, if anything, Max is now getting around Greasy. I don't understand why down the straights these dry tyre runners are literally blitzing by these intermediate runners.
The calculations do not make any sort of sense here with the dry tires and the intermediate. Through the corners, the intermediates are the prime tires. Through the straights, the dry tires seemed to do the trick here. But now look at the battle here. This action now moves down through the inside. Gonna make contact here with Greasy, and Greasy spins. And now he's gonna have to try and get out of a sticky situation now as Mr. Baby now moves up a spot, and Greasy still falling down positions here. He is still stuck there, and he's outside of the points. What seemed like a great, promising race, but now the action, trying to get onto that back bumper of Max. Here they come through into sector, just coming to the end of sector 2.
Oh, sliding. I don't know if these tires are getting worse, but yeah, Max really struggled with traction there. There's absolutely loads of battling going on behind. There's battling all over the place, but it's unfortunate for Greasy to come a cropper in no name. But he got pinched down into the corner by the action, and unfortunately, if you get hit in certain ways in this game, you are spinning. Golf's retired.
He has terminal damage.
Yeah, and we've got someone else who's, I think that's who's still on those dry tires.
Poor Note, he was up there in a good prime position, but ended up pitting for the hard tires and not for the intermediates when it was time for the intermediates. This isn't going to mean action.
Mr. Baby pushing Max out of the way. Literally, that was a bump and run as you ever seen in an F1 car. So he's up into P6 now, but he has got a penalty. But I think Max's tyres have definitely given up the ghost.
He has to lift all the way through Radeon.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, holding on. He's got his overtake button on at the moment. Just trying to keep it. Rom, Torres, and Jeffrey were chasing him down behind in the next 2 laps. He gets a couple of points out of this. He's done well. I think everything we knew about wet weather and what tyres to choose have been thrown out the window at him tonight. But he's sliding like crazy now. He's going to be Tokyo drifting by the end of this race. And he's in Belgium.
Well, the action. He picks up a 3-second time penalty. This is going to enable so many people behind him. Can Max hold on to this? Because if you look now, 3-second time penalties for both action, Wizard and Mr. Baby. If Max can somehow close that gap, he's losing so much time. It's going to be absolutely close. He doesn't have to worry about the guy behind him, because if Rom gets up in front of him, that's a 6-second gap that he has to catch up here in the next lap.
It does. Swinny G's made a mistake. He spun out because Flippy Day's now up in P2. I think it was out of what used to be known as Grandma's Cottage Corner. I can't remember who coined that phrase in ALC, but it's definitely one I remember. Actually, a painful corner for me because I spun out there in Tier 2 one year and threw away a win. But I digress. So we've got Cody Lawrence leading the way. He's 8 seconds ahead. He probably got the cigars out now in these wet conditions. Whether he can light it or not is another matter. But he's just strolling away. Fluffy Dave, what a debut for him. P2. And we've got more. We've got Greasy and Max have come together in the final chicane.
Yeah, and Max is now outside of the points. So his day has not only gone from good to bad to worse.
Wizards round. Sorry, Wizards round in Tier 1, so Max might still get a point.
He's got to really push it here, but it's going to be close.
I think Potato Skins is one who's going to benefit most from this. He's only with Wizard having a 3-second penalty. He just needs to keep within that, and Potato Skins will fight back to get that last point. Of course, he made a pit stop in this final phase from dry tyres onto the intermediates, so he's worked his way back into this through some chaos and carnage, and he might get a point at the end of this. We all know that 10th place is the chaos spot after last week.
Lawrence has went from the back of the pack, and he has gained 18 positions to take the lead. He was the first person to go on the intermediate tire on that first safety car, and it paid off once again. Lawrence's strategy, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, he has the pace, he has the strategy, and he's going to be our ALC winner here in Belgium. He makes it through the final corners. He's decided to have a spin over the line. That's how dominant he was at the end there.
He did it in style.
Go over the line. As Fluffy Dave decides to do the same. Over the line, Swinny G made that mistake in the final lap, or final 2 laps, and he's going to finish P3 for the day. The Action, who was all action today, he's going to get P4. And that's be a great finish for him after starting P10 and everything that went on. Of course, he may have a stewards inquiry for the contact with Greasy, so that may change as the week goes on. Mr. Baby, his teammates, P5. Ram crosses the line P6, but
he falls down to 9th.
He goes down to 9th. So Torres, and he had a very action-packed race, including a horrible start, and he's going to finish P6. Jeff 1, P7. And Greasy, he had some absolute, he had a great pace, and he was up there at one point, but he's going to come in P8 for that.
Oh, and Max picks up a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Oh, that just adds so much salt to the wound that's already gaping. So, and no, he's going to come home to 14th, and he's just trying to get it home. But
yeah, those tires definitely did not help him in that final stint. He gave it a good go like Max did, and at one point you thought maybe they were going to be able to hang on, but those final few laps, the drop off on the drives was too great.
Well, Cody Lawrence takes back-to-back wins here at Apollo Racing Club. Unfortunately, his points don't count.
They don't count for the title. For the constructors. I think Notes decided to drift over the line or just do some 14th place victory donuts. 14th place being the true winner today. Look at him go. I'll give it to him. You know, if he did that final stint on hards, and it was certainly not the tire to be on. So we'll sit here and watch Note do some well-earned victory, well-earned donuts. He may cross the line eventually. He's got 45 seconds. Can he do it? Let's go against some encouragement.
Come on, no, come on.
You can do it, no, you can do it. Oh, no. We always have to have chaos at the end of these ARC races.
Oh, no. And he retired. He doesn't even get class.
He retired. Why not? You know, he wasn't going to go over the line, so he got a bit of help from some drivers. Cody Lawrence, like I said, is our winner in ARC Belgium. And I'll tell you what, Adam, that was incredibly crazy, and the strategy didn't make sense. But one man who decided to make sense of the strategy was Cody Lawrence, as he takes his second victory of the season as a reserve. He's just a smasher of dreams for anyone else who wants to win a race here. Fluffy Dave was P2.
Oh, my... my brain hurts from that one.
It took me about a week to recover from Miami. How long is it going to take to recover from this one?
Like a month.
Well, luckily after the next round, I get a month off. So we'll see what carnage we get next week. I think it's Austria next. But tonight, Cody Lawrence is supping the virtual champagne. Fluffy Dave P2, Swinny G P3.
I really don't know what to think of this one.
It was an event.
It was an event.
Things happened. tires made no sense. It rained, but it wasn't raining. It was Schrodinger's race.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to really have to explain that in like the simplest of math terms or whatever we can find out how to explain what we just witnessed. Cody Lawrence takes home another win by going to the intermediate tires when it looked like there wasn't any rain, and then it rains.
Well, so it ended up being a massive stroke, but I was certainly scratching my head when it happened. But man,
Well,
wow.
all right. Well, I'm going to need some time here to figure out what just happened. And of course, here at Apollo Racing Club, we have a lot of exciting racing action that always happens around here. Wednesday nights, we'll have ACF1. So join us on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for that one. And then, of course, Saturday night, ACC GT3. And then we'll be right back here Sunday night for the Red Bull Ring next Sunday, again at 9 o'clock Eastern. James, any final thoughts?
I think I've pretty much said it all. I mean, that race just seemed to throw the script, everything you know about racing and F1 games, and it was all thrown out the window. Nothing made sense. But
Nope.
Congratulations to Cody Lawrence again. Starts at the back, strategizes well, takes that gamble when we're all like, what's he doing? Why is he going on inters? It's not raining. And he ends up with the win. What a race.
What?
Like I said, we'll need another week to recover, but we saw some action.
Yes, we did. So, for everybody here at Apollo Racing Club, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow button on our Twitch and then head over to YouTube and catch up with all the racing action here. If you're interested in racing here, head over to apolloracing.club and fill out the application and join us here. Also, you can head over to grid-finder.com. Apollo Racing Club is an approved Grid Finder racing league, sim racing league, so you can head over there and sign up and just search Apollo Racing Club and join us. We still have reserve spots open as well as spots in ACF1, IndyCar iRacing starting up in just a few weeks. And then, of course, we have other leagues as well. So we have a GT4 league and a couple, and then a Road to Glory set of Corsa league. We got a few leagues here. And if you're also in the rally, we do some Dirt Rally 2.0 weekly events. So for everybody here at Apollo Racing Club, thank you so much for watching, and we'll hope to see you here next week for Red Bull Ring. Good night.